now. Devin White got cut.
Breaking news, everybody. Devin White has been cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I'm happy because, and not because I wanted Devin White to be gone, but because I didn't want them to hamstring him for a whole year and not give him the chance to go and try and revive his career. I know, we've talked about how he wasn't, by the way, John deserves flowers on this. Sills, John took Sills' level of hate this summer for his takes on Devin White. And everybody in Jacob Nation came down on him. You're a Devin White hater. You're so wrong. McMuffin, you're dumb. And this. John was spot on about Devin White the whole time. He had no impact on this football team, and now he's gone. He is gone, and he didn't play one snap here, as John predicted. So I'm giving John some flowers on that one.
Let me read the room here, just in my observation above the NovaCare Center. They're panicking over there. I'm going to tell you why. They're looking for bullseyes right now and scapegoats right now. And for Howie in season to cut a guy that they gave $3.5 million to, who was supposed to come in and be a starter, Howie on the Zoom. The reason I came to Philly was because Howie was the guy that was recruiting me. Here's the guy. Hey, for Howie to cut bait on this, dude, it wouldn't shock me if Bradbury's next. Okay, or something.
They're already creating their scapegoats, aren't they?
Yeah. This is fucking the beginning of Hurricane Howie.
No, I'm not ready to go there. You're saying this is the start of the end?
This is a Cat 4 right now. Hurricane Howie.
Are you
is
telling
right
me
now.
This is the start of the end, Big Sills?
I'll lower it to a Cat 3. Okay, right now it's a Cat 3. Hurricane Howie. This is the first. The waters are getting warm in the Gulf right now.
No, I didn't want to go there. And Sills, leave Sills to go there.
The Chesapeake Bay waters are now starting to get a little bit warmer here.
Oh, no. Is this Sills? Don't tell me this thing's unraveling right now with Devin White.
It's the beginning. What it is it's setting up Sunday if they shit the bed.
Oh my God. If they with this and then if they shit the bed on Sunday, oh my God.
Oh, hey, they'll like that play. Hey, NovaCare will be knocked down by Hurricane Howie. Cat 5.
Oh no.
Sills, I told you something fishy was going on. John did say that. He goes, Sills, something fishy's going on.
Hurricane Howie.
Hurricane Howie
Abe. Oh my gosh. Hurricane Howie.
Cut him. That is so un-Howie. That was one of his prized signings.
Sills, I didn't want you to go there, and you went there, and it's hard for me to dismiss this.
This is the beginning of this is the beginning of the end for Sirianni.
Sirianni's the beginning of his end started last year.
To the Browns on Sunday, they're firing his ass. And you were right about Rob. Hey, dude. Okay, so I cannot believe they cut Devin White.
Hurricane Howie.
Hurricane Howie.
Please, some Eagle fan, talk me off the ledge. Is Sills right here? Is this the start of the end for this football team right now?
Cat 3 with the potential. Hopefully it gets downgraded by the end of the game Sunday.
I can always count on M. Reyes, Big Sills.
We got a guy we never used. Look at M. Reyes.
No,
you're right. You're right, M. Reyes. You just cut people that you fucking give money to, and you blow everyone up saying that, oh, my God, this guy. I kept telling, why is this guy on the team? Why is Bradbury on the team? Cat 3 with the potential of a Cat 5 comes Sunday. Holy piss. Okay? Oh, my God, this is the beginning here. Sirianni, dead man walking. Why does Howie not know how to draft defense?
Oh, my God.
That's because he's a glorified CPA. This team should be a dynasty. Get Howie out now. No, get Howie away from the player sandbox. Holy cow. Saleh earlier. Devin White later. They're going to take, hey, dude, your boy's setting up. Who's he setting up? He's setting Nick up. That's what players in the lock. You know what players were doing today? Players right now, when they get wind, here's what they'll do. Players getting wind of Devin White getting canned, you're going to go like this. Wow. Okay, what? Because it was always fishy why he was on the team still.
Right.
You just automatically cut him now. Why? You know why? They're
I
looking
guess
for
they
fucking
tested the trade
targets.
market.
No, what they're doing right now is you ever go to a fair and you start knocking those ducks out the thing there? You got the gun, you're shooting them ducks. Bang! Devin White first. The next one, you know who's getting benched? Boom! Bryce Huff. He's getting benched. You know who's next? He's going to be, boom, the Kobe Dean. He just got in the back of the head, too.
Oh, no. Hurricane Howie is here,
Hurricane
everybody.
Howie, baby. Right now, warming up in a Cat 3.
Oh, God.
Let's get to these super chats, dog.
Hurricane Howie is here. Wait, let me answer Victor. Victor says, in quotes, Howie Roseman is an idiot because he doesn't admit when he's wrong. Then Howie admits he's wrong, and he's an idiot for admitting he's wrong. Victor, I love you, brother, but I think you're leaving out one of the biggest components of this, and that's Howie's ego. Howie's ego is way bigger than you are giving credit to. And I understand that you like Howie. That's fine. Howie's done good work. Howie also misses, and he's so afraid to admit when he's wrong that when he does, he makes other things happen because of it. You know, and this is a perfect example of it. And hopefully there's no other things that go wrong because of
will
this.
Howie be on the sidelines come Sunday? Hurricane Howie on the sideline, man. I guarantee you, man.
We
He'll
need
be
a
on the
shirt. I
sideline.
need a shirt made with Howie's name, Howie's head in the middle. Maybe that's not a good timing with all the things happening in the world, but Hurricane Howie is here. Stay safe, Florida. Don't worry, you are safe from Hurricane Howie. You guys got to handle.
Yeah, we're further up the coast right now. It's right off the coast of Philadelphia right now, and so.
Well, there's no coast. Well, I guess there is a coast.
Yeah,
but
you don't live on the East Coast there? I forgot. Philadelphia, where? Where are you near? Chicago?
Philadelphia is inland. I mean, I guess you're on
Lake Michigan.
Anyway, Hurricane Howie is here. Let's get to a couple.
Hurricane Howie.
We just did it, man. We just talked about it. I'm gonna make a posting of it. Wait, Sills, real quick before I get to the super chats, let me just get what's your takeaways from this? How's the team respond? How does the defense respond? Are they in a better spot? Are they opening up any roster moves from this? What's your analysis from this type of move?
Now, this could be a trade. This could be opening up for a spot that they found somebody on the practice squad.
Okay.
Somebody that's out there because to me right now, his roster spot, because he was on the 53 men, he was just inactive. So now you create a spot where maybe somebody on a practice squad somewhere else that they've identified that they want to bring in and give an opportunity to come in and help special teams, or maybe even the depth level of their linebacking core. Right now, it's a priority that the roster spots right now that you need more depth on that side of the ball. That's why it wouldn't shock me if they end up firing Bradbury also and blowing him out. The only problem with that is once it became active for day one, they're on the hook for $11.2 million. So that would be a tougher cut. They should have cut him prior to the start of the regular season. So it creates a roster opening where they can go to a place to make a trade, or they can go like, hey, dude, Carolina's not going anywhere. You know, maybe there's somebody down in Carolina. They got a linebacker. I know they shipped somebody to Seattle. I forget in the offseason. But you go to some of these teams that are not going anywhere, and you start making a move after the first quarter poll here and what potentially you could make a trade for a low-end pick. It's a roster spot that obviously they're going to look to fill either with a practice squad guy or a trade. Now, Devin White as a player, in the last 15 years, there have only been 2 linebackers taken in the top 5 picks, and he's one of them from LSU. And now you have to sit here and look and what happened with a guy who was a shooting star. In his second year, he was second-team All-Pro. He was the captain of the Buccaneer team that won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady. He was an instrumental part of winning that Super Bowl. He was a co-captain on that team, actually. He had 6 sacks on that team. He was really good. Levante David and him, I thought were going to be the future linebackers of the Buccaneers for the next 10 years. David has been sensational. He's a superstar player. And for whatever reason, the business of the NFL, I think, got the best of this guy because how do you have that kind of talent, 4.4 speed? You have an athleticism that's off the charts, one of the top linebacker athletically to come out of the draft at LSU in a long time. He's an Ed Ogeron guy. And for him not to be the player that they even think that he could be a contributor to the Eagles this year, in a team and in a linebacker room that has so much need, for him not to even be a factor is really horrible for his resume, that he was fired and he couldn't contribute in any way to a poor linebacking core. I think it's a total testament to this guy on how he allowed the business of the NFL to ruin his career. And I'm going to tell you one last time here, Xander. He'll look in the mirror 10, 15, 20 years from now, and he'll regret every moment of it, because believe me, I do. You'll regret every single second that you didn't live up to the expectations that you knew you had inside you, and you allowed other things to get the best of you. And that's a shame, because in my opinion, his NFL career is over. Someone will pick him up, put him on a practice squad. They'll get the taste of him, and they'll get a bad taste. For the Eagles not even to activate him, they had a horrible taste of his character. This is a character thing when you're not active. Dude, you active. They didn't even take him to Brazil. When they didn't take him to Brazil, I knew they had a problem with his attitude.
Sills, this smells like a big Howie move coming. What would you think it would be? Defensive side, big trade. Remember, this is the one thing Howie loves to do, Big Sills. When he gets in the crosshairs and everybody wants to come for Howie, you know what he does? He makes a big trade. He makes a big move. He does something to quiet the noise around him. Will Howie make a move? And if he did make a move, where do you think he'd go right now?
Look at the teams that are in trouble. Cincinnati, okay? The teams that have like really big troubles right now. Cincinnati's got some talent, but their defense can't stop anybody. I don't know what they have in their linebacking core. By the way, that Mosley kid, that CJ Mosley that the Jets have.
Yep.
I mean, you just got rid of Robert Saleh. I mean, what you could look at is, let's see how they play against the Bills. If the Bills beat them and they go 2-4, then you're going to start seeing some things get a little bit more hairy there in New York. And Joe Douglas and Howie have a relationship. Maybe that would be something to end up making a move. Now, look, you got to remember, too, you're talking about a linebacker position now, and now a roster spot that's open. What if Nakobe Dean doesn't play well? I know you want an edge rusher, but you need someone in the middle of that zone in that Vic Fangio defense to be able to control the middle.
What's a bigger need, Sills? What's a bigger need, man? We're getting nothing right now out of our $17 million. Nothing. Goose eggs. Now, Josh Sweat's been okay. He's been serviceable, which I think is what you expected. Bryce Huff, goose eggs. First-round draft pick Nolan Smith, goose eggs. If a guy like Max Crosby's out there, that to me looks like the move. I'm not saying he's available. Or
what happens if Zach Bond gets hurt? Who are you putting in there?
See, this is where I wonder if John's point's correct, where, Trotter, Ben Van Sumeren. See, and I'm not saying those guys are good, but you're not getting great play from
No, I'm looking for functional.
John's point was they have depth at linebacker because it's all the same dudes, right? Yeah. There's no star. So maybe if they don't think they can improve that position, or Howie is Howie and doesn't want to spend the money on that position or the draft capital on that position, I could see him spending it on the edge rusher.
Somebody just said, stop talking about injuries. Why? It's played a major factor in the first quarter poll of your season. You've got to talk injuries.
Oh, you have to. Injuries
because it's part of it.
Yeah.
Nobody's, and again, I'm not going to quantify fucking telling you about injuries because you've already went through it in the first 4 games. The bigger need is edge rusher, but where are you getting that from, Xander? You think
here's why I don't think they'll go edge rusher.
Up an edge rusher?
Well, you find a team. That's why I said Max Crosby. I know that they probably don't want to get rid of him.
Henderson kid in Cincinnati.
He could be gone. I mean, you're talking about teams that are selling. You got to find teams that are selling and don't have right now a break. Like, here's why I don't think
that don't like to spend money, which is Cincinnati. It's why I pick Cincinnati.
Vegas is in La La Land, and they don't even have a quarterback.
But look, Max Crosby. They're not trading Max Crosby. They're going to get rid of Devontae Adams.
And the other reason I don't think they'd go edge rusher is this. That means Howie Roseman's going to admit to 2 mistakes in one day.
No doubt.
Or 1 week. Not happening.
No.
If you trade for an edge rusher.
3. Because it means he fucked up on Reddick, he fucked up on Huff, and he fucked up on Nolan.
True. It's true.
That's 3 misses. Watch this. First round pick, big money, and a trade, you got something that you're getting back in 3 years. That's a big whiff.
I just think that the edge rusher is going to make the biggest impact on this team. I don't know if we're going to go that route, but
again, if you go get Trey Hendrickson, okay? I mean, you're talking about a younger player, but he's going to demand a contract. Look, he's not going to be on that team next year. And so Duke Tobin's got to come up with a way on moving that guy. There's two dudes that are not going to be on that team next year. You're not going to have T. Higgins on that team, and you're not going to have Trey Hendrickson on that team. They've already got rid of Jesse Bates. Why do you think Cincinnati's in the position that they're in right now? Because they got rid of Bates. They don't want to pay anybody defensively. The defensive football team stinks right now.
They don't even want to pay Jamar Chase.
They took all that money that they gave Burrow, and now they're playing nickel and dimes everywhere else around the roster. Every single player that Cincinnati has ever franchise tagged, they've never brought back the following year. They've never brought back. So Higgins is not coming back. He's going to be a chief or a bill next year somewhere because they're going to try to get something for him. I wouldn't. I just, again, but for Howie, to me, but you got to think financially too, how he's going to do this. He's not going to make those. Then again, he just admitted that he made a mistake with White. Okay. Would he go get an edge rusher? I mean,
I think you're underestimating Howie's ability to, when things get smelly around Howie likes to punch back. Howie likes to change the narrative on him, whether that's his little man syndrome complex, whatever it might be. Howie likes to kick back when people start putting him. I've seen more articles and we've done it here on Jacob, and I did it on Birds 365, and Dave Zangaro wrote about it on NBC Sports Philadelphia, reviewing Howie Roseman's recent signings. I've seen more than I have seen in 4 years, in 3 years.
It's funny.
Howie understands that there might be a time. If this team doesn't reach expectations, Howie's going to be in the crosshairs. I wouldn't rule it out, him making a big move right now.
How about this? I've been pointing this stuff out for 4 years on Howie.
Yes, you have.
About his lack of ability to evaluate, especially defensively, and his signings over there. Okay? He is not good at it, man. But to your point, you know what he is good at? Look at what he did here. He's rescued Slay from Detroit because they weren't using him right, and they put him in a zone defense in Philly. What else did he do? He realized that AJ was being underutilized in the Derrick Henry offense when he's only getting 63 catches a year. Dude, he found Gardner Johnson, who came in a year ago. Now, I think that injury that he had in Detroit, I don't think he's the same player. You know that injury he got last year where he missed like 14 games last year? I don't think he's the same guy, and I don't think that – get this. You know why I think he's not playing well? I think he's still recovering from that knee injury because doesn't he look slow out there?
Yeah.
He looks slow. You know, he may be better next year in that style of play like he was in 22. But I think remember, Xander, he missed 15 games. He missed 15 games last year. Dick Gardner Johnson. I mean, maybe it was 14. I know I think he missed 3 games last year, dude.
Gardner Johnson was a miss. He was a miss. They should have spent the extra money to go for Xavier McKinney or bust because, dude, they wanted him. They were all in on Xavier.
That number up to go to $18 million to get McKinney. No way would they.
What did they do? What did they give CJ? 12? 8?
No, they gave him 8. They gave him 8.5.
8's pretty low. 8's less than half.
The other guy got 18. He got 17.5.
Yeah, and he's also got 5 interceptions in 5 games.
I got it.
Our dude leads the league in passes given up in coverage.
Look at Patrick Queen, what he's doing in Pittsburgh, too. They gave him 18-4, and Pittsburgh's got one of the top-flight defenses. I do think there's something. John's right. Something's up here now because you know what this is? Let's just hypothetically do this here now. They've created a roster spot, okay? And that they're not elevating a guy off the practice squad for that. They're going to make a move here.
I just shot John a text. I want to get his intake. I'm going to get see what he thinks on potentially Howie making a move. Devin White released.
Now you have 52 guys on the team.
Yeah, for those. Well, I don't know. Was he taking up a roster spot?
He was 53. He just was inactive. Remember, what is it? 50 are active, or 42 or 52 are active. I forget what it is. But dude, he was on the active roster. Yeah, because he was a weekly inactive. So I mean, he was on the active roster. I mean, that's a roster spot.
See, Crowley brings up a good point.
It
could also just be for that.
Crowley. But Crowley, you got one less depth guy now at linebacker. Do you really need another safety?
We don't have too much depth at safety.
You just got through saying no. Where's he going to play? Where's Brown going to play?
John says Sydney.
It's for Sydney. Okay. So now get this. Now you're lighter at linebacker. Okay. So here's your depth at linebacker now.
You had less safety depth than you did linebacker. This makes sense from that perspective.
So now they're elevating Trotter. They must feel better about Trotter.
Well, I feel better about Trotter. Look at what our linebackers have been this year. They haven't been world beaters.
Let's look at it.
You don't feel confident that Trotter can come in and be a mediocre player? I think he can be.
Let's do this on a positive note. Vic must see something in practice that said, let's cut him and let's elevate Trotter.
Well, I think that was decided weeks ago. I don't think that was decided today.
Why today then?
Because they probably tested the market to see if they could trade him.
Because of Sydney.
Well, right. Sydney obviously is the final nail in the coffin for now. I need the spot back. But they probably tried to trade him. Nobody bit, and then nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him in the offseason. That's why we
tried to trade him before the final cutdown.
Yeah, so that's probably what this is going to be here. So
it is. It's the roster spot for Brown. So they elevated that. But now again, you're still. So how many linebackers do you have on your first two units? You got Zach Bond, and you have.
You still got plenty, dude. You got Nakobe. You got Jeremiah Trotter. You got Oren Burks, who started for the Niners last year when what's his name went down in the Super Bowl. He was their third string linebacker, and then you have Ben Van Sumeren, who's that athletic type of player that makes up for Devin White. I think the linebacker depth is fine. How
about this, Xander? What kind of look is this for Howie that the White move didn't work?
It's tough to
kill. Did any impact at all? Because he hadn't been playing, but this was a kind of notable. He was a fifth pick in the draft at one time.
Well, I think the expectations on him were higher than on the outside than they were on the inside. I mean, they gave him $3.5 million, right? And they didn't give him, $18 million. So I don't think they were expecting him to be a huge impact, but maybe inside the locker room, they didn't care much. I don't think he was ever a fit for Vic Fangio's scheme. So I never liked the signing in the first place. I kind of thought it was one of those big names traps, but I don't know. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just like, goodbye. You weren't ever going to get the start here anyway. I think that was decided in week 1, right? When they decided to not fly him and give him some sort of ankle tweak. And then they asked him about it the next day. And he's like, oh, I think it was my right ankle. We all now
know that he didn't tweak his ankle.
He didn't even know what ankle it was. Sills, he didn't have an ankle tweak or whatever they said it was. So they made that decision a couple weeks ago. Maybe they tried to trade him. Now they need the spot back with Sydney, and they're going to use it for that reason.
I like the fact they're going younger.
Yeah, but everybody's.
I like that they're going to start playing their younger. I think
people are drinking the Sydney Brown Kool-Aid a little bit early. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to come back and be a starter. I'm like, one, where? And two, what did he show you that he was that good? I know he's a young, promising.
I'm so happy that you're saying that because I'm trying to tell people prior to him getting injured, my take on him and my evaluation on Sydney Brown, he wasn't a very good tackler. He was a great hitter. He was a guy that over pursued. He was a guy, remember I used to say, smoke a joint, kid. Let the game slow down a little bit. Get a little bit more reps. He's a very aggressive kid. And anybody who thought that he was a great tackler, you must have missed some of the shit that I watched because he's got a long way to go. Now,
I think Kiko is right. I mean, he was
I think he can be a league guy. I think he's got a chance because, remember, Lovey evaluated him, recruited him to go to Illinois. Okay, and Witherspoon was part of that secondary at Illinois. I think the kid has a chance to be good. Okay, but pump the brakes. 18 months off on a knee injury for a guy who didn't really show me that he was all that great. He missed tackles. He overran them. I mean,
he sucked in coverage too. So if you're replacing Sydney or replacing CJ Gardner-Johnson, is he even an improvement in coverage?
No, he was terrible in coverage. He got spun around. But again, he's a young player. Like, let's do this. I mean, Cooper DeJean's not ready. I mean, he's still not ready. Missed all that time at camp. You're talking about a guy who was decent a year ago. Not great. Now, is he an athlete? Yes. Do you see some great promise? Yes. Do I like him? Yes. Do I think he could be a guy back there that could be a really good, solid ball player? Yes. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Damar Hamlin before Damar Hamlin got hurt. He's that kind of player. He's in that room like Damar Hamlin. I wouldn't sit there and go like this. That guy's Cam Chancellor. I mean, you're out of your minds. Cam Chancellor blew people up and knew what he was doing. Okay? This is pump the brakes on him.
Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor was a great.
Where the hell did you get that name? He's nowhere near Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor
was a fourth rounder. My point is that
he was a good player.
Hey, Dan Quinn and Gus Bradley developed him in that defense, and they gave him time to develop. That's what I'm saying. Hey, dude, nobody thought Cam Chancellor coming out of college was going to be a star player. He was a fourth rounder. But what they did was they put him in a system and they developed him. Hey, what is your expectations? You don't think this guy's – I hear people going, hey, why don't you just drop him into safety now? I'm like, are you fucking crazy? I mean, you're not trying to, like, wake up Rip Van Watson here, are you? I'm not trying to wake up the guy to try to become the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson again. I want to have the most qualified people. By the way, I might even put Isaiah Rodgers out there at the corner position, and I might even drive Quinyon in the slot to help my secondary a little bit. They need more help in that secondary. Xander, they're not very good back there right now. I think they're okay.
No, you're right. They're not. And you know, Reed Blankenship has been better than C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was always the hype signing and that everybody got all jacked up about, but he's not good. He's never was good. That's why nobody in the league wanted to give him a multi-year contract. Howie Bitt gave him a 3-year contract when he got outbid for Xavier McKinney, and it's not going to work out. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is a liability. He's all bark and he's no bite, and he's overrated, frankly. He's way overrated. This city way overrates him. I mean, I know he had a decent year with us in 22, but, you know, right now that looks like a one-off.
Yeah. So does Hurts. But then again, hey, let's did we read the super chats?
No, we're gonna get there.
All right,
I just wanted to hit the Devin White stuff because we got everybody checking in obviously right now on the show. So appreciate all the viewership right now. Hit that like button. Big shout out to my man Brett Jordan for becoming a member. Brett, thank you, brother.
Brett, thank you, my friend.
All members. It's big support for our channel, so we thank you very much for that. Daniel, hope you're staying safe down there in Florida. I know you were checking in, or I don't know if you were in Florida. He might have been North Carolina. Anyway, Daniel,
coming up to his way too, by the way. So
it doesn't matter if we develop any of these linebackers or safety anyways, because Howie won't pay them. It's a good point.
Right. Hey, always remember, if you're a linebacker in Philadelphia, you're getting a 1-year or you're getting a one-time contract. You're not getting re-signed. You're just not. Let's go to the next one. Us Washington fans are here for the Eagles crash out tour. How you doing?
Come on, Door.
Hey, Hurricane Howie, Cat 3.
Yeah.
How you doing?
They just released White. We got that. Thank you, In Flight. Ramir, appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the 99 center. John says, Sills, I told you something fishy was going on, John. You're right, man, and it looks like it. Yes, but it also could just be simple roster moves here right now. Dor Garner checks in again. Eagles lose, then the locker room implodes. Dor, you're living in dreamland, man. You're Washington's 4-1, and you're hoping that we collapse. Might not be wrong, though. We'll see. Derek Willis checks in. How can Jalen Carter show up when the DBs are 8 yards off the ball? It's a great point. I mean, we're looking for pressure. We're looking for sacks. We're looking for production from the front. Meanwhile, our cornerbacks are in Asia, are in Jupiter. They're not even on the same planet as these dudes. God.
Hey, that's fucking funny, man. Hey, Jalen Carter, show up. We're your DBs. Hey, they're in New Jersey. How come Troy Aikman's like, dude, these guys are playing so far back, they're off the screen.
It's crazy. The TV guys are like, shit, we got the Eagles this week. We got to get the extra big
wide angle.
Yeah, get the wide angle lens.
Hurts contract backloaded. If so, hard to get off of. Hey,
or it's way backloaded. Way backloaded.
And he's got no trade.
Oh, God. Look at this next super chat. Usto. Come on, Usto.
Hurts for Brady. Do we win a Super Bowl? Absolutely. I'd take Tom Brady right now at 50.
Seriously.
Hey, dude, would you take Brady right now over Hurts?
All right, come on. Next question.
No, wait, he's been out of ball 2 years.
I don't care how long he's been out of ball, dude. That dude would come back and dissect these modern.
I'll take Nick Foles right now.
Yeah. Seriously.
Would Mahomes be the same guy in Philly? No, Andy.
No.
Good question.
No. Not without Andy. I think Andy was instrumental in developing. Remember, Sills, in the face of modern culture, in the face of the modern NFL, when every quarterback drafted is rushed onto the football field, Andy Reid traded up for Patrick Mahomes. And then he sat him on the bench for a year and said, sit right there, young man.
Did he
You're
sit
gonna learn."
McNabb? Did
That
he
was a
sit McNabb?
I
I
think he
thought
did, but that
McNabb
was a
came in.
different time.
I
McNabb was
thought
what? McNabb was what? Like the third
I
or
thought
fourth overall,
McNabb
second
came
overall pick?
in. I thought McNabb came in mid-season. I
McNabb
thought
was
he
what?
came in.
I think he was the third overall pick, McNabb, right?
I think he came in mid-season. I think they sat his
Second
ass.
overall pick. Let me look, because he got drafted in 99.
I thought they sat him.
Let me look.
And like after the first like
I'm sure
7
somebody in the chat can give us it.
like 7
McNabb
games.
late in season. He sat and Peterson played. That's right. Doug Peterson.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think to answer the super chat about would Mahomes be the same without Andy. I mean, I'm not taking away any talent from Mahomes. He's obviously has immense talent, but I do
Cliff
think
Kingsbury
Andy,
didn't win with him at Texas Tech. I mean,
yeah,
so
that's different though. I'm not going to compare
It
the
is.
college game to this. I mean,
It is.
Andy Reid has developed him beautifully though. I'll give him credit for that. Now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Patrick, but I just think that was a big move, from Andy to sit him down that year. Let's get through a couple more of these super chats. M. Reyes, where will you hide when we go 14-3? M. Reyes checking in.
This guy's the most delusional guy I've ever seen right here.
I love M. Reyes. M. Reyes, I love you, pal. Appreciate your support.
You're a punk.
Money on the Browns team going to lay down to fire Nick. G. Fish is looking for a
G.
firing.
Fish, take the 8.5, G. Fish. They ain't covering. They ain't covering that.
Let's go to Kimberly. Kimberly, appreciate you checking in. Salah's firing is the catalyst for Sirianni gone. They know Howie is now exposed. Kimberly, I'm not sure if you were listening about 30, 40, 50 minutes ago when I said that this could be the first domino to fall. It makes it a little bit easier to move on from your coach when somebody else does it. Kimberly's got a point there. Sills, your reaction.
Hey, Kim. So like when your girlfriend gets a divorce and you got your boy, doesn't it make it easier for you to go, you know what? You're not looking that good either, too. You know what I'm saying? Kim, it becomes a snowball effect. Your girlfriend dumps, dude. You're like this. Hey, Larry, I'm moving on too, man. Turn your keys in. Bring your playbook. Come on, Kim. All you chicks run together.
Kim, you got Sills on that. He's going to be on that. He's going to be using those analogies for years.
Hey,
appreciate everybody in the chat. I think that's all.
Sirianni's a bad husband. No, not in life, not in real life, because I love his kids, actually. Hey, by the way, I should have known when I watched his kid mimicking him there at the press conference that one time when she was doing all that shit. She knew he was full of shit. I'm out on losers and bums. Yeah. Right here. Any more super chats?
No more super chats. Appreciate everybody, though, man. Great
you guys are good, man. So Devin White, it's to create a spot for Sidney Brown. Hurricane Howie is ready to roll, baby.
Hurricane Howie.
Hey, he's heating up in the Gulf right now. He's gonna be coming up the East Coast. And let me tell you something. If that fucking team loses to the Browns on Sunday, it'll be a cat 10.
It will break the hurricane scale. Wait, everybody, I need a chat check-in on this. If the Eagles lose to the Browns, what do you want to see happen? Victor, I need to hear from you.
Hey,
Paul.
Could that cause Howie to lose his job?
No.
Dude, you lose to the Browns and all the money you spent?
Dude,
you guys told me there's no excuses now.
Howie isn't going anywhere.
Dude.
This team could lose out.
You spend all that money and you fucking shit the bed?
Bills, this team could lose out. I don't think Howie would get fired.
That's not winning football.
Talk to the owner.
I can't. We're not at liberty to talk to him because nobody can talk to His Highness. Nobody can get up to the top of the NovaCare Center there because we're not
If we
allowed.
lose, though, it sells. If we lose, let's just play hypothetical real quick. If we lose to the Browns, who are the only offense in the NFL to not have a 300-yard game yet, they're 1-4. They barely squeaked by. Who'd they barely squeak by? Wasn't the Panthers? Was it?
It could have been.
No, it wasn't. Let me check.
I think they beat somebody in week 2. Was it the Texans?
No. It was the Doug Peterson Jaguars.
Oh, it was the
and they won 18-13. Oh, what a barn burner that game was.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Winning the Super Bowl made the front office Jerry Jones 2.0. Yeah, because they think they know what they're doing. They don't.
Here's Victor. I asked him to check in, and this is what he has to say.
Howie will inherit this team. What do you something like he's Jeffrey Lurie's lost little guy or something? And it'll be better, trust me. Hey, wait a minute, Victor. Julian Lurie's going to run this team. He's the next GM. The next GM of your team is the kid's son. That's who's going to.
Let me go through some of the responses since I said if we lose this football game. Finally, dump Sirianni. Bench Hurts.
Ooh.
Fire Nick. Howie and Nick getting the boot. There's a Howie. Eduardo checking in. Eduardo, good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. And Reyes, where's your Howie? The Browns suck. No way the Eagles lose.
KC. Keep that
Niners all damn day checking in. Start McKee. The McKee boats are going to be getting their steam, Big Sills, if they lose this one. Put Howie back in the broom closet. Will that happen, Big Sills?
No, I want him to to just construct contracts and to do this. Yes, the bottom line is in the CPA is our accounts receivable, and make sure you have the accounts receivable checks all sent to my office, please, because that's the job he should have.
Well, I will say this.
Head of accounts receivable.
I will say this. Howie does do a damn good job of contracts. Best in the league.
Best in the league.
So, that does matter.
There's nobody
and that's the reason that we have the offense we have. But I said in the beginning of this segment, everybody, and I'm going to double down on it and say it again.
Best in the business.
As fans of this team, we should be pushing this team because in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, in 15 years from now, hell, if you're 26 years old like I am, in 50 years from now, if this team doesn't win a Super Bowl, we're going to look back at that team and say, how the hell did we let that one go? This is the best offensive roster we've ever had in the city of Philadelphia. The best.
Let me go back.
We got to capitalize on it.
Let me tell you, folks, remember what I told you. If they don't deliver, like Xander just said, they don't deliver, this will be the biggest disaster era in the history of the Eagles. It'll be. Because you know why? You spent the money, you got the players, and you have two fundamental problems right now